can we come to expect here from Cedric Mullins in 2025? There is an abundance of outfield competition now at the center field position going into this season. Dylan Carlson, Ramon Laureano, Colton Cowser, and Cedric Mullins. Now, that's not even to mention Enrique Bradfield Jr., which I don't think we see this year, but to say that he's not breathing down the neck, that'd be an understatement. Now, Cedric's going into a contract season, and we've seen him be a 30-30 player one time, but since then, Cedric has kind of hit a little bit of a wall. Since 2022, he's played in 407 games, and he's a 244 hitter, which is, if a guy hitting 8th, 9th in your lineup is a 240 hitter, you're going to take that all day. But he's only hit 49 home runs in the last 3 seasons and only 192 RBIs. Where does that fit in? Now, Cedric had a pretty decent second half last year. In the final 45 games, he was a 250 hitter. And in those 45 games, he hit 7 home runs, 16 RBIs, 19 walks to just 24 strikeouts, while adding 13 stolen bases. We did see Cedric pretty much stop taking at bats against left-handed pitching late in the season, which kind of helped his numbers a little bit. But when you kind of look down the stretch, Cedric was one of the only guys really hitting late in the second half and in the postseason. While that looked good late in that second half, he did have 32 at-bats with runners in scoring position, had 0 home runs, and hit 188, while just driving in 6 RBIs. So it gets back to my point. You got a guy in a contract season. He's been around for a long time. He's provided so much for this franchise. He's made all-star games. He's hit 30-30 seasons. He's made so many fantastic plays in center field. But what's in store for him? Colton Cowser, we saw him play second in Rookie of the Year last year. He's an outstanding defender. He's going to be a good hitter. The guy absolutely crushes fastballs. There's still stuff to work on. Dylan Carlson's been in the league for a few years. He's kind of kicked around a little bit. He's still a very plus defender out there, and he smashes left-handed pitching. If he makes the team, that's more of a logjam. Ramon Laureano smashes left-handed pitching, is a good defender at all 3 positions, and he's got a fantastic arm. So when you look at that, you already know Cedric's not going to play against lefties, but can he do enough damage against righties to keep consistent playing time? Again, going into that contract season, he wants to put up big numbers so he can get paid this offseason. But he also wants to help the Orioles too. But how long is this leash going to be for Cedric with so many guys around him hitting? Now, if Cedric comes out and performs really well, it obviously helps the team. You get him on the base pass, you get him moving, stealing bags. He can still run the balls down out in center field. He provides a lot to this baseball team, but he's going to have to hit. For a long time, there was no competition for Cedric Mullins in center field. And this year, I can confidently say there are 3 guys that could start every day in center field. Cedric being one of them. He's just going to have to take the opportunity and run away with it. Now, in his last 187 games against the American League, Cedric, unfortunately, is hitting .224 with a .301 on-base percentage, a .398 slugging, and a .699 OPS. They're just not good numbers. They're actually below league average. We all love Cedi for the things that he has done for this franchise. I'm expecting him to have a good season, and it's primarily probably only going to come against right-handed pitching. I could see Cedric hitting around that 240, 245 mark. I would like to see him in that 15 home run range, and I would really like to see him get above 20 stolen bases. As a collective team, I'd like to see us run a little bit more than we did last year. But this is a big thing for Cedric. I pray he stays healthy through spring training. Small injuries or little nagging injuries, that's what opens the door. We saw it last year with Austin Hayes. Austin got sick. Colton Cowser got into spring training, started getting some more at-bats. He took advantage of his situation, and he became the everyday left fielder. That same situation could happen to Cedric with an illness, an injury, or anything like that, off to a slow start. But for this team to go where we all want them to go, I think a big part of that is having Cedric Mullins in the mold with Colton Cowser and Heston Kjerstad and Tyler O'Neill. You need all these guys firing on all cylinders. So what are your thoughts? What do you think we see from Cedric Mullins this year? Do we think we see a guy who gets above that 240 to 250 range, who becomes that hitter that he once was? Or is he kind of just who he is now? Let me know down in the comments section below.